Hey folks, it's Thursday. Let's do the daily target on CSSBattle.dev. Oh, that is some interesting stuff. Okay, so this shape, this oval that's sort of rounded rectangle, it's a very specific shape, and it has me thinking that I need to do an element with a border radius rather than background. So I really want to do borders here. So border radius, and I'm going to have some number 40 pixels, let's say, and let's do border solid, and it's going to, we need the color, right? We need a color and we need a value for the width. So right now we get the default, which is 2 pixels. I think it's 2 pixels black, the default color for non-light mode, or dark, not dark mode, rather, I should say. So we want that. The rectangles that are over the top of everything will do last. I think that's another element because of just the way things have to work. All right. So let's adjust this object. Right now we need, let's say 40 pixels for the width. How about 30 pixels, 30, or maybe 25. All right, and now we're going to use margins on that element to get that shape. And I think we need a negative margin to begin with. How about negative 20? And I'm going to set a 0 because I think we're going to need another element, and that 0 might be helpful. We might not need it. That's fine. Let's go 200. It's taller than the body. So let's go 400, see what that looks like. The body, as we, upper corner, we see it's 400 wide, 300 tall. Okay. We don't need the background. So let's adjust these margins. 5, 4, 3, 20, 20, 22, no, 8, 15, 16, 17. Okay. So that's what that looks like right now. Let's increase the, so you'll notice at the top margins, we need more negative up here. How about negative 50? And let's adjust that border radius. 60, 70, 80, 100, 130, 135. How about 130? That actually looks pretty good. Let's adjust for 5. Oh, so this is going to be a tricky one. 20, 30, 40. Yeah, definitely a tricky one. All right, I'm going to make this height less. How about 300? Not 3,000, 300. 300, 310, 20, 30, 40. Okay. Minus 60. So I'm adjusting carefully to try to match, and this is definitely tricky. I would like to see 0 margin, or I would like to see a consistent error along these edges, and what I see now are very uneven lines. If I've got a straight line, I know that I'm close. So let's keep. One thing that I can do is I'm going to put a border, or rather a margin on the body of 0. Why is that helpful? Well, because sometimes these puzzles have even numbers as their solutions, and so it can be helpful to narrow the mind in. 5 narrow solutions. 3, 40, 50, that's worse. 60 is way worse. 50 is less worse. How about 45? And then make it taller. 3, 6, 5, 4, 6, and this number is no good. How about 25? There, minus 25. Okay. So right now we've got a border radius of 150. Oop. Not really saying much during this video because I'm concentrating. It's also possible that I won't get to 100%. I'm just prepping myself for that, at least in the span of this video. I am committed to exploring this one, though. All right, so what's that look like? So, all right, so we're at what, 175 pixels? Semicolon. 50. All right, so the edges are really good, but this top part is not good. So if that's the case, what do I need to do differently? 40, 42, 43. This might be one where we want to do shape. So a clip path that's a shape, which might work better. I do think that the border of 25 pixels is correct. It certainly seems to be correct along this edge here, but because we're going to be covering it anyway, maybe it's not super good. So what else can we do? $100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42. And then what if that margin's a little bit more? 6, 7. It's not really better. All right, so kind of in the vein of act as if. I'm going to let's get a 99.9% one. So I'll do a second element. Let's see, background, conic gradient. Which is going to be transparent, 75%, and then this color, 0. Border radius, 0. Margin, minus 100, 25, probably, something like that. There we go. Border, 0. And then the at value is at, what, 60 pixels, 40 pixels or something. Okay, here we go. Let's get these margins up. 2, 3, 2, 4, 35, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 60, 70, 80. Put that at 0, 0. Okay. So, not right. So that's a 99% match. Not a particularly good match. You can see that bounce around. Oh, that's no good. So I think I'm going to make this shorter, this one here. I'm going to set the height of the second one. To be 100. And then I'm going to change this height to be less and see if that improves the match. 30, 40, 20, 10, 100. That might be the way to go. 40, 50. There's a So that's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay. We're at 99%. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause and get dinner, and I'm going to come back to this. You won't notice that I got dinner, but I'll notice that I got dinner. All right. Pause. Okay, everybody. I'm back. It's been a few hours. All right. Where were we? I've been thinking about this. I don't like any of these parts of this solution. I'm going to start blank again with the blank template, which is a paragraph tag. I am going to set a margin of mine. So I'm going to set the margins on this first paragraph. I would like to do it in 3 parts, I think. -8. And so I want this to have this background color. And I would like to just do the outer edge to start. So that outer curved edge, that's our part 1. 110 and 40, 30, 20, 22, 18, 18, oh, 19, 18, 17. Okay. So that's that piece. And then we're going to have a P and a PB. Okay, and then B. And then we need a C as well. C, so B, I'm going to put a background of this color. And the final one is C. So I'm trying to set myself up for success here. And I'm going to flip this upside down with a scale -1. So this is not it, obviously, but it's the start. So if I do border radius, and I want to do a var of, let's see, an R of 40 pixels, let's say. And I want 2 of those, var -r, -r, 0, oh, and I want a second one. Oh, and that border radius needs to be here. 0. Like that, okay. copy paste. So the tops I want to be curved and the bottoms I don't. B that R is 0. Okay. All right, now let's set our, what are we going to set? Oh, we're too tall. How are we too tall? I don't understand why we're too tall. Oh, because this height is wrong of the second one, isn't it? Height 50. Let's do that. Okay, so this needs to be a little taller. 20, 21, 22, 115, 16, 17, 18. Okay, and then the middle one is a little taller. 6, 7, 8, 90. Oh no, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. All right. All right, now let's set that radius 4, 5, 6. You can already see it's kind of problematic, right? 8, 9. All right, new plan. I like these margins for this one, but what if we narrowed this 2, 3, 8, 9, 40, 31. What if oh boy. All right, so on a 0, these margins are a little wrong. Margin 0. So let's try to 0 these out a little. 0, okay. And then the height of the second one needs to be, or the margins need to be a little different. 0 is here. 0, 17. The height is now 120 of, oh, what a mess. This is a tricky one. Tricky one. Okay. Okay. Okay, more margin on these guys. 50. Yeah, that is not working at all. That is invalid value. So my initial idea was to push up the margin so that the curve would be above the body. I think that's not a good plan now. Let's try something novel. We're going to go with the quad template. Let's see what we can do there. I'm going to set the background. So this is the 4 elements. They're reflected across different axes, right? That's the technique that we use there. And what if it's all gradient? So that means I need to make one quadrant with this shape. So to do that, we got margins of 0 set on everything. Great. And we want the background of the body to be a color. Background of that. And then on the background of this, we need to fill in the various parts. So let's first do radial gradient. I haven't seen that in a while. The radiation autofill, autocomplete. I don't know what that is. And let's start that radius at 100%, 100%. And then this color. And then give it an extent, 50 pixels, let's say, and then transparent. Okay. So I'm going to try and get that curve out to here and see if I can. Yeah, so that's the fun task now. So 50, 80, 90. And how about, what if it's a circle? Can we make that circle fit on 30? If I move it up vertically, can I get that curve to fit? It's already not looking like it's possible, but let's see what we can do. So the center of that is not at 100%. Let's try 90 vertically. 80, 70. That looks pretty good, if only. So then where's the center of that circle? Right now it's at 100%. What if that's at 90%? Oh. And what if we make that bigger? 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Oh. And let's make this a pixel value. So 70% of the height of 150 is something like, well, let's just try numbers. 80 pixels. Let's try. 50, 80, 110, 120, 130, 20, 110, 105, 104. 103, 102. That's pretty good. Okay, so if I've got that, if I do the inner color, do I get something better? We go 0, 154, and how about 1? Well, we had 25 pixels for our first solution of the border. So if I do, well, let's 129 pixels, comma, does that match? Ooh, it's close. It's close. Oh, so that's close. So again, I mentally prepared for a 99.9% solution, which is not satisfying, and it definitely is one I would return to. If I'm not able to do it tonight before bed here, I may do this in a third part may not upload. I don't know when you're watching this, but yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's do a conic gradient. Which is transparent, 75%. The dark color, 0. We're gonna need an at value, 100 pixels, 40 pixels, and then move that over 40 pixels, maybe 30, and then 50 pixels down. Okay, we gotta align this guy. So I think we're 20, we need 25 over, 25. And then down 6, 7, 8, 9, 110 pixels, 115 pixels, no, 115 pixels, 110. And then increase the X of the at. Does this even sound like I'm talking about what I know what I'm talking about? I don't know. 4, 5. So you can see the little wispy parts of this. But we created two curves. The inner curve here and the outer curve, and then this square. So let's see when we submit that. So right now, our last submission was 99% match. Let's see what this one is. It is a 99.8% match. Painfully incorrect. but it does feel like we're on the right track. So if it's not a circle, I'm going to do ellipse with two the same value. How about 50%? 50%. Oh, that's no good. How about 1Q, 1Q? And that's identical because of the math. So yeah, so ellipse with two values that are identical is equivalent to a circle, right? I'm saying I want this normally a radial gradient without a shape indicator, ellipse or circle, is going to be, it will adhere to the container. So in this case, it's a flat, squat thing, right? Which you can see. So we've got one of those. It's the upper quadrant. We're only working with one quadrant. So if I tweak these numbers, so I got 1Q and 1Q. So that's kind of no good, right? Like I need more to work with. What if we do 100 pixels, 100 pixels? That gives me the same thing. And so now let's tweak these numbers. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1. The other thing to consider is it's possible that expecting both these numbers to do it in one radial gradient is not realistic. So I'm going to back out some of these changes. Okay, so we're going to divide this up. Yeah, we're going to divide this up. So we don't want to do, so I want to copy and paste this guy. Plunk. So I want only the light pink as the on top. I need a comma. And then I only want the dark here, which should be the same. So now when I make changes to the dark and make it bigger, there it's bigger. And I can also back this off. 8, 7, 6. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and use that 100 pixel trick. Well, I don't know if it's a trick. I'm not even sure it's going to work, but it might work. So we want to do the inner first. So this is the shape we've got right now. Super close, super in the spirit. I'm adjusting the gradients here. All right, let's submit that. I think we're still probably at 99.8%, which is, a bummer. Yeah, okay. So the inner shape we want to adjust. So 100. What if we adjusted this number, 60 pixels? pixel values. -1. Okay. All right, we're just gonna we're going at it. We're gonna keep going at it. We're at 99.9%. That is a 0.1% better solution. When I run the diff across it, right, my eye has a hard time seeing that we're having any trouble. Excuse me, take a drink of water. Okay. I'm not liking this solution for pretty obvious reasons. So what I'll do is I'm going to set this color as the secondary color here. And I'm going to get rid of the final radial gradient, which is going to do the outside curve. And what I'm going to do is attempt to do a clip path. I'm going to start with a polygon. Which is going to be, I'm going to start in the upper corner, so 100% 0, go to 100%, 100%, go to 40 pixels, 100%, and then 60, I got something wrong with the thing here. Oh yeah, I moved the 60%, 0. And that's the polygon, but obviously I've misplaced. So there we go. So that's what that looks like right now. Okay, so I want this polygon is too far over. So that's 60, 0 is up here. And I want that to be, that's almost correct. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then this is too far over. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to say I want another point, 25 pixels, 50 pixels. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 100 pixels, okay. So to do a shape, I'm not showing you what I'm looking at. MDN shape syntax. The shape function. Okay, so what I want is very similar to this. So I want straight lines everywhere except between these 2 points, between 25, 100, and 63, 0. So this is working with jaggy edges. So I'm going to turn this into shape, and the adjustments I need to make it shape are I need a from and I need a vertical line, V line, to 100, 100, and I need an H line to, so that's a horizontal, so I'm going from the top right corner down to, so vertical line, horizontal line to okay, and then V line to, and then curve to width 0, 0, close, and semicolon. And I'm going to subvert this clip path and hopefully still see something. Okay, so I need a shape. I have a from, to, maybe I don't need these V's and H's. V, there it is. So I have a work. So I don't need V line and H line. I forgot that. And we want to move the curve. This curve wants to be, so how about, so the 0, 0 right now is controlling where that curve is, how that curve is shaped. And right now 0, 0 is up this upper corner. So yeah, that curve is being pulled up. So if I increase both these numbers, I will get different curves. So let's increase these numbers to 20. 30, 40, 30, that's looking better. And how about we pull it up, so 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, is that better or worse? How about 41, 42, 43, 44? Oh, and that's not the color we want. I actually put the wrong color in. I wanted to do this, I believe. There we go. It did help me see it. So let's see what we got now. Let's see with this bit. So now I can get rid of this polygon clip path. That was just to give me kind of a sense of where the easy points, where the straight points were. Okay. And then submit that. Okay, we're at 99.9%. We're not worse. How's that? So strictly speaking, so this occurs to me. There's our shapes. I don't need all that stuff, do I? No, I don't. But I'm sort of asking to do a very complicated curve now. So we're going 100% 0 line down to here. And then we're closing it up here at 100%. What I want to do now, do I? It's arguable. I really only care about this shape. That's the only thing that matters. So if that's the case, I want a line to 80, so if it's 25, so add 80, 88 pixels, 0. Line to 88 pixels. Hundred pixels. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking about. Okay. So yeah, so I see that it's a mess. I see that. I can see that. Of course I can see that. All right, so we need to go a little further over, right? 90. 100. Nope. That's 910. 100. Okay, and I think I do need. What do I need to do? I want to go here. That's where I'd like to go next. This is not the most clean solution ever, and I don't care. We're gonna get this done. That's my goal. I mean, that's my what's the word? Determination. I'm sure that's the word. 7, 6, 5, 4, 50. All right, and now let's so now I'm moving down the first point, 100, 110. Not too bad. So line to 100% 0 or 100 pixels 0. So that's here, right? Yeah. So we're going from 100% 110. So we go down, down, line up, curve, line. So now this final thing is a line. So I'm going to add another line just for paranoia's sake to 100% 110 pixels. And then this line to 50 pixels is a curve. So that's now invalid syntax because I need to add the width, which is the controlling point, 100%, 100%. There's the curve. There's that weird curve. It's bulging out. So now I'm going to do an even weirder, no, 50%. No, let's do numbers. 100 pixels, 100 pixels. So we need to move it up. Let's go 50. And then move it back over 50. Oh, yeah. Getting there. All right, now let's put the background on. And let's submit that. That is 99.9%. So I think there's little bits of edge on the inner edge. Let's move this around just a little. 1, 2, oh, 49, 49, 48. How about a little bit? Just adjusting these little bits and pieces at a time. And let's submit. Looks pretty good, but the proof will be when we hit 100%. That's no good. that's correct. I think that 50 pixels is correct. So let's go. Let's make it worse. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Not a lot to talk about. I can imagine you're fast forwarding through this part, and that's okay. And it's possible that so I've not decided on how long I'm going to go. I guess that's determination. Ugh. So how about this curve? What if I can adjust this one? Is that one? Let's try that one. It's awful close. Oh. There, of course, has to be another way to do this, but maybe not. Or at least I'm not seeing it. Okay, so this is the curve. All right, new plan. You're tired of the new plans. What if the inner curve is 2 curves? Oh, and then we got this. Oh, we got this radial gradient issue, don't we? We don't need this radial gradient anymore, do we? No, we don't. As a matter of fact, we only need the conic gradient. Oh, what am I doing? Oh ho ho. So we move that down. So if that's that, I want to go 50% of this, 75% to that point, and then this color, I think. Oh no, I need them flopped. Add that backwards. Here. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. So that we know that's wrong. So now we can do this curve and not have whatever was going on with the radial gradient interfere. Okay. Close. Let's try that one. Doesn't quite look right. It's got a little bit of a wonkiness to it, but we're kind of trying anything at this point. Yeah, 99.9%, but that's a little more efficient code. All right. So what are the shapes we've got? Those are the shapes we've got. Very strictly those shapes. So this inner curve is the problem. Not that one. Line 2, 100%. Okay. Curve 2. Pixels 110, so it's from down. Line 2, 100. Okay, so how about 101 pixels? Oh, how about 99? There we go. That might be slightly better. And then move this horizontally over 1. And then up a little. 38, 37, 36. And over 2, 3. Ever so slightly better, or just squishing things around and not making things any better? Maybe. Oh, it's awful close. I don't know how long this video is. This might I think we might be in an hour at this point, which is a long video for us. This is reminding me that I think the stats that I use on the CSS Battles page that I created is slightly wrong, and this is certainly going to change the average because it's so much longer. Most videos are under about 10 minutes. Most solutions, rather. Bless me. Sorry about that. All right. So what I'd like to do, I think it needs to be more vertical, 25. Maybe less vertical, no, 25, 25, 20. Oh, even better. I'm going to do the line 2. So I'm going to do it as 2 curves. Line 2. So I'm going to do another line. So that's going to be there we go. So I want to be not so far over 60. Great. 51, 52, 53. About 50. And then 61, 62. Okay. We got a line to 6250, which is the middle inner point. And that's the top inner point. And then this point is the bottom inner point. Okay, so I need curves. Curve 2, and that means I need a width. Width 0, 0. so that top inner point. Oh, I had a problem, I think. That's not what I want. That line is fine. This is the line that I don't want, that I want to be different. So I'm going to add a width, 0, 0, and make that a curve. There we go. That's the one I was trying to affect. Again, keeping track of these things is not easy. 60. How about 25 pixels on the vertical? And then okay. It's not great. That looks better. And how about this one? Curve. 250 pixels, and we're just going to copy that exact number with that. And then we're going to move that. I think we want to move that way. So we want to move it up to 100 pixels. We want to move it west, I want to say 40. Okay, so it needs to be higher. 90, there we go. 80, 70, 25, and then move it over 5, 50, 51, and submit. And that's 100% match. Woo! Okay. I wish this was more generalizable and learnable. This is very difficult. This is a very, very tricky one. I bet there's a better way. I would bet a lot of money that there's a much better way. And I'll just remind you that the way that I've done this, so I'm going to undo, is created that shape. And that shape is on an element that is 200 pixels wide and 150 pixels tall. And then it's reflected to get it correct. And I'm using flex. We've got the scales that are going. It's a fair solution, but obviously very tricky to do. I don't know how to get that curve. It's possible creating an element with the right radius, and then clipping the top part of it. I'm sure there's a more simple way to do this. There's absolutely a much better way to do this. It's my own stubbornness that wouldn't let me accept defeat on this one. I haven't been stuck at 99.9% on a solution in a very long time. But that's and 604 is a fair score. It's a fair score, but clearly a lot of work. A reminder of how powerful the shape syntax is, and it is available in Safari. It is not yet available in Firefox, so that is a warning. But very powerful, very, very powerful. Just look it up on MDN shape, and you can learn. And obviously, when you see V-line, H-line, that may be supported in some browsers. The way I was doing it, it was not getting it. Simple line is all you needed, or all I needed for that purpose. But we got it done. Thanks for sticking with this if you watched the whole video. If you didn't watch the middle bits, that's okay too. Just know that there was a lot of hard work to create this shape syntax, which is very complicated, but actually way more approachable if you start with a polygon, get your points the points that aren't curves, and then replace those lines with a curve, which then has a width, then you have a shot. And obviously I was able to get that done. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Not all HTML and CSS is this hard, I promise. So go make a web page, okay? All right, get out of here.